Bears have 2 picks.
Good morning. It's Friday, day after night 1 of the NFL Draft. Special episode of the Blitz here. I'm your host, Brendan Gagan. I am joined by
Johnny Clumpy.
And Devon Osman.
Welcome back, Devon, by the way.
Thank you.
Good to have you back. We're going to get right into it. Night 1 of the draft. Couple surprises. Nothing too, eye-popping. Well, yeah, there is. I lied. But the first 5, maybe 10 picks, kind of what everybody expected. So today we're going to discuss the top 5, the guys who got selected, and then pretty sure, Devin, what's your idea for the 5 guys that we've handpicked?
I mean, a couple guys we handpicked. Obviously, we got Bears fan and Steelers fans. So you guys will just talk about your guys that you guys got, and then we also got how Jackson Dart went first round, but not Sanders, and then we have how one guy did not get selected that both of you thought would get selected. So we'll do that after we talk about the first 5, though.
Yeah, so let's go on and get into it. Titans had the number 1 pick. We did our mock draft. Everybody knew in the world it was going to be Cam Ward, and it was, in fact, Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami. Any disagreement?
I mean, this one's a weird one because it's like he's still not he's not really the true 1-1 quarterback. But I like Cam Ward, so I don't want to discredit him. I mean, considering there was an Abdul Carter on the board, a Travis Hunter. But they need a quarterback, and Cam Ward isn't a bad option. He's just not a 1-1 quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, I think Cam Ward will be fine. He was obviously the best of the 3 to 4 quarterbacks that were available.
But this is the worst quarterback class in a couple since the
2022.
Yeah. So it's not. I'm not saying it's a bash on Cam Ward. It's just they needed a quarterback and they didn't want to wait another year, which I understand.
I think the Titans will be happy with.
Well, yeah, they are.
And if there's any quarterback that actually has first round talent,
it is Cam Ward.
Yeah.
So I'm not pissed about it. It was just I like Cam Ward, so I don't want to hate on him. I'm just saying
yeah.
Obviously there was guys who play valuable positions that are really good. Yeah. In the draft, there's guys that plays both sides of the ball maybe in this draft. So it's just not anything. It's not really a shot against Cam Ward, just more it's known that this quarterback class has been weak.
Yeah.
It ended up being worse than we expected. We expected more names to be in the draft, and then they all ended up the college quarterbacks just struggled last year, except for Cam Ward, really.
Yeah. So we move to the second pick. This was the first surprising move. The second pick belonged to the Cleveland Browns. Once the Titans' pick was in, the Jags decided to send Cleveland an offer, and the Jags did, in fact, trade up to get the number 2 overall pick, which we all knew who was going to. It was Travis Hunter. We just thought he was going to Cleveland and not Jacksonville.
The 2 football guys knew who was going to.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Devin thought Shador.
Well, I had Hunter at 3, so.
Yeah. You had Carter at 2, which but yeah, this is where Johnny and I disagreed at first, but then once Johnny looked at the trade package.
I hadn't really seen the full trade package. I mean, the Jags traded number 5, number 36 this year, 4th round pick, and their 1st round next year to move up 3 spots. And they got Travis Hunter, and they even got a 4th and 6th in return, both this year. But you lose a 1st round pick next year, always a dangerous game.
Yeah,
but
especially if you don't know what you're trading for. But I think if there was one team that Travis Hunter could play both ways, it would be the Jaguars. They don't have an ace corner.
That's what I want.
They only have Brian Thomas at wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I do think he'll go to Jacksonville to mainly be a DB because they don't have anybody, and they just lost Cisco in free agency. So I mean, their secondary is nothing.
He's going to be a really good corner. His floor is a solid corner, and then you have the option. I think he would have been a good wide receiver too, but take the more valuable position. Yeah. Or the position that's harder to find studs at, and they got one. And then they can even throw him in on offense because they have Christian Kirk too, but Travis Hunter being your wide receiver 3, 5 plays a game.
Yeah. Well, they
Wouldn't
released
mind it.
Christian Kirk.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
they
they
did.
released Christian Kirk.
Right,
So
okay.
that's why I'm
yeah,
saying
they
like
really
this
only
is
have
like
Brian Thomas. Yeah, you're right.
And the Browns with that trade make it so now they have the first. They had the first pick of the second round, and now they have the fourth pick of the second round.
yeah. So I will not. See, this is like kind of like a.
And they still had a top 5 pick.
This is coming from like my ball knower side and then like my bias side. I hope / I think / they should take Shador with one of those 2 picks. Should. Because they should realistically, the Browns should be in a position to where they'd have Travis Hunter and they'd have the ability to take Shador.
If it makes you
But
happy,
they didn't want. I don't know why they didn't want Travis Hunter.
I assume you know this, but the Steelers don't have a second round pick.
Yeah.
So that means they can't take Shador. But if they trade for a second round pick, then you know they're taking Shador, if he's still
I know.
available.
I know.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be
I know.
so
I will
They
cry.
It gets
That'd be
announced
so
they
funny.
traded with the Browns for a first pick.
That'd be so funny.
He does. He won't even have to announce the pick. He'll just have to announce the trade, and I'll start crashing out.
Because if they
'Cause
they
here-
trade to get a second round pick, it will be.
Because here's
for
my
Shador.
mindset: if we wait till the second round and Jalen Milroe's still on the board, we're taking Jalen Milroe in round 3. We're taking him in round 3, which I'm fine with Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, especially in the third round.
Yeah, especially in the third round. That's probably right where his production level is, and not anything too special. But we'll head to the third pick. The Giants on the clock. Giants took edge rusher Abdul Carter out of Penn State.
No.
No disagreements.
Right pick. I mean,
Right pick.
The top 3 were known. It was kind of like the order of the second 2 guys.
The front 4 on the New York Giants is now scary, very scary. And it was scary last year, and they got pressure, and that was not a problem for the Giants.
It was like the one positive.
yeah.
Team was.
And the positive
Dexter
got
Lawrence was
even more
almost-
positive with Abdul Carter. So now, yeah.
Here's the one.
Dexter Lawrence was a first rounder. That makes sense. Dexter Lawrence was a first rounder.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the
I
problem.
mean, that makes sense. It's not really-
Just so they won't let other teams score, but they're not scoring
they're not
themselves, so
They
it
got
doesn't
Russ.
matter.
They
What do you mean? They got a quarterback.
got Russ.
We'll talk about
they
the
got
quarterback
Malik
later.
Neighbors. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got a quarterback. They
Yeah.
got the
Oh,
quarterback
you're
of the
right.
future.
My
They
bad.
got
I
Russ.
forgot. I
That's your
forgot.
quarterback
And
of
they
the
have
future. They
Russ.
got Russ.
I forgot.
And
They got
drafted
Tommy
him.
DeVito, and they got Jameis Winston. They have the funniest quarterback room in the NFL. Like this is.
And they got one more guy.
Put them on
top.
Hard Knocks.
And they got one more guy on top of it too. that
All right,
we'll
we get
to-
it, Johnny.
We'll get to later.
forgot.
We get it. Yeah, so they'll have Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy. They'll have Brian Burns.
Oh, that's right. They have Brian Burns.
They'll
I
have
forgot they have Brian Burns.
Kayvon Thibodeau. They have another one.
They have
Forgot
another
his name.
outside linebacker.
Yeah, they have another outside linebacker.
They're gonna
and now they have
platoon-
Abdul Carter.
They're gonna platoon outside linebackers.
That
That's
should-
insane.
Yeah.
Like they don't have like one guy and then 2 okay guys that they're
Yeah.
gonna have to rotate in because one guy is better for like run and pass plays. They have
All solid.
4.
Yeah.
Like Burns will play every down,
Yeah.
And
Dexter
then you
Lawrence
have-
will play every down.
but he's on edge.
But he's
They,
talking
they
about-
got 3 guys.
Carter will play every play, like every down eventually.
And then
not
they got,
his.
well, yeah, not because of
He
the obviously
will-
the talent they have.
yeah.
They have 2. They have like 3 guys who are, they can just rotate in. It's like, oh, here's a great edge rusher. Oh, here's a great edge rusher. Oh, here's a great edge rusher.
They're just breeding them. They breed different. They're doing something right. Jets aren't, but
I mean,
He was overall ranked the 1, taken 3.
yeah.
So
Yeah, good pick by the Giants. We'll head to pick 4. New England Patriots. This is where Johnny predicted a stretch, and he was very wrong.
okay, I knew it was a stretch.
Uh,
I said
Pa-
the thought process though.
Patriots took Will Campbell with the 4th. Devon, that's Mason Graham. Yeah.
I don't. No,
It's Colson Lover.
That's
give me a sec.
But yeah.
Okay, I
Mason
don't
Gr-
think I have one.
Wow, the
I think
hate, the hate on Will Campbell.
I miscounted.
Okay, well, Will Campbell and Mason Graham look like identical. I just realized that. But yeah, again, not really any surprises.
I
Johnny,
wasn't like shocked. I just like
Johnny,
there-
Johnny just like kind of put it out there just to put
there
it out
was
there.
the option.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Will Campbell's a bad pick. It was like you go the Bengals route where you draft the quarterback's friend, or you protect your quarterback And protecting
and Drake May needs protection.
And protecting a quarterback is also smart.
Especially with a guy like Will Campbell. Will Campbell's good. He'll be good, but not much to talk about with the lineman. No disrespect to the lineman, but yeah,
it's a good offensive tackle. You know what he's going to do.
But now we'll go to the 5th pick. The
There we
Browns
go.
traded back. They got Mason Graham. Bit of a odd move, I think.
It's just the move itself, kind of like
it's not a reach at 5, but it's a reach for the Browns.
yeah.
If it was the Jags, this would have been. Everybody knew this pick was going to happen. Everybody knew Mason Graham was going at 5, just not to the Browns. The Browns, they have a young defensive line, and they have Myles Garrett, and they have Mike Hurst, and they have all these. They have Onwuso, the outside edge rusher / linebacker.
Yeah.
Like they have all these young guys, which that's why I don't really understand is that you take a reach with Mason Graham's probably the best. Not probably, he is the best defensive tackle in this draft. But to go to Cleveland, that just makes me scratch my head. Like he's got to be a good player.
Yeah, it's just like a weird.
It's from the post-draft analysis saying that they have Myles Garrett, the Browns, but they don't have a guy to go with them. Is what is.
Well, yeah, Mike Hurst is still young.
What they're saying.
But
Well, they filled in those spots pretty well, but they haven't got like a consistent guy.
yeah.
So Graham will be with Myles Garrett.
Yeah, so Graham will be the.
He was ranked 5th. So I mean, he went exactly where he was projected.
And then the next ones were kind of all fine. We don't have graphics for him, but it was Genty.
Yeah, 6 was Genty to the
Membu.
Raiders. 7 was Membu, tackle out of Missouri, going to the Jets.
Panthers took Tedero
8
McMillan, which I
was
like
McMillan,
actually.
yeah.
I inherently kind of have to dislike Bryce Young as a Bears fan because
I fired that, by the way.
it makes the trade look better
It does.
for the Bears the worse he plays. But I also do like Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Like I hope he's like I don't.
He's
want-
got so much.
I don't-
And last year, seeing him do good towards
Yeah,
the
I don't
end
want to
was
wish
really
like
nice.
a bad career on anybody. I do like enjoying the sport that I watch
will.
instead of hating on people.
Yeah, we know. we know.
So good pick. Get Bryce Young a real wide
Yeah.
receiver, and then Calvin Banks at
They
9
still have
is-
Adam Thielen, too.
Genty, I'm upset. I've wanted the Bears to get him.
Yeah,
I
but
think
he
it would
wasn't
have
gonna
been.
fall.
I know.
And
I wanted the Bears
if we
trade
would've
up though.
If the Bears-
Genty's just.
We'll get to it when we talk about the 10th pick
Yeah.
and the Bears' options.
Yeah.
The ninth overall was Kelvin Banks, the Saints,
Yeah.
and then 10 was the Chicago Bears, who took Colson Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan. So I'm a Bears fan. I fully expected a tight end in this spot because I knew Will Campbell would be off the board, and then actually both tackles got taken off.
Yeah, do you think they would have took Banks?
No.
If he was on? Do you think they'd pick? Yeah. Yeah.
I thought
You thought they were tight end all on if Genty
I
or
like
Campbell was
Braxton
off?
Jones, so I know there's still like his contract situation, but I like Braxton Jones. So
Yeah.
if he could have been filling out the last spot in our line, because we have
Can we just?
Darnell Wright, I'm forgetting Joe Thuney, and I'm forgetting the other 2 guys we signed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew Dalton and Jonah Jackson. Those 4 are offensive line right now. And I think, obviously, it's the left tackle that we're missing, of course, of all the positions on the O-line be missing. But we have 4 real offensive linemen, finally, for the first time in a really long time. So I think they could have afforded not taking a tackle because, like, the offensive line needed help, and they got it help. And still Braxton Jones, if they can just figure out the contract situation, I like Braxton Jones. So I don't think the tackle – but if Will Campbell would have fallen to us, it was take Will Campbell.
Yeah.
If Jenny would have fallen to us, it would have been take Jenny. But I like Colson. I would have preferred Tyler Warren, which I was talking about. We were talking about before the show. Just from like what I'd seen, like
Yeah, so I did see. I am a Penn State guy, so I did want Warren to go to Chicago because I don't mind the Bears. They're the closest like football team to the area, so and I'm around a lot of Bears fans. It made me go crazy, but there's some good ones. I wanted Tyler Warren to go, but I saw some, and I was talking to my dad last night about it. How Colson Loveland was actually rated higher than Tyler Warren. So.
Not Not that I'm seeing.
It's like 50-50.
On the ESPN draft, it says Warren's 1, Loveland's 2 in position rank, and then Warren is 6th overall, Loveland's 7th overall rank.
Well, here's
on ESPN.
Here's what I read last night on CBS. I saw some with Colson Loveland. His blocking is insane, and he's able to catch the ball, and he's got good speed for a tight end. What I saw when they were talking about Warren is that Warren's good at everything, but is he great at anything? And I think that's like the neck and neck thing. Like Colson Loveland, he's man on blocking, and
he's great at it. I mean, he played at Michigan, so did he not?
He did.
No, Loveland.
yeah.
Loveland was at Michigan.
Well, he looked at me like I was wrong. I was like,
No,
he played at Michigan. All he did was run block for 3 years. So
yeah, that is So
he played under Jim Harbaugh.
he's a great run blocker, and I think that's what the Bears were really looking for because they already got Cole Kmet.
He was the pass catcher. Like he's primarily a pass catcher. So yeah, I'm fine with it. I would have preferred Warren.
It's heads or tails, really.
What I heard was Loveland's just like a bigger wide receiver. Like that's what I've heard.
I mean, they're both.
It's because he's
wide
fast,
receivers.
so it's like.
I mean, they showed Tyler Warren's like all the snaps that he had at different positions. He's had like
He's a gadget.
Warren.
That's
Warren.
why. That's why
he played quarterback. Like
that's why Warren would have been fun for the Bears. Cause like Ben Johnson just gets the gadget guy of all gadget guys.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But like the post draft analysis talks about how Ben Johnson did with Sam Laporta last year, and this is kind of like who he's looking at with to do the same.
But Loveland will make sense like in the left tackle spot because he'll be the second tight end. So
so he'll be on that blind side,
and he'll be able to help with like chipping and blocking for whoever the left tackle ends up being. I mean, if it's Braxton Jones, we're not going to need a bunch of help there. But if it does not end up being Braxton Jones, then you help the guy who is that left tackle.
So lack of football IQ. If there's 2 tight ends, then there's 7 blockers.
No,
not entirely. It could be.
There could be 7 blockers. Okay.
But
like if it's a passing play, especially if you go 2 tight ends, one guy might help, and then one guy might run a route, or they'll chip block.
Well, typically, tight ends pretty much chip and then go on a route.
They hit the edge rusher to like knock him off balance and force him into whatever the tackle is, and then go run around.
I hate that in real football, because I'm a linebacker and I'll always have to be a tight end. But like I'll like blitz and I'll see my guy blocking, so I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go, and then as soon as I like start going, they break off into a route, and I get beat every single time. It's so annoying. Like, but it's smart though, especially if you're good at it.
You got something to work on this summer, then.
I do. But So I was also at B-Dubs for the draft, and not one single Bears fan liked that pick at all. I heard a lot of "What are we doing? Sell the team" activity going on.
Okay, sell the team's insane.
Well, Bears fans are in like crazy. So
I still don't like that.
Dude,
Well, I
Chicago
guess
sports
Virginia
is
sadly passed away
for like
but
half the teams.
That is true.
it works with Ben Johnson and
Trust Ben Johnson.
Like Poles has done a good job. It's just like there is still the problems with the higher up management, like refusing to fire Matt Eberflus when they should have fired him. He shouldn't have made it into last year. Jim Harbaugh and Ben Johnson were on the board last year, so we could have not done let the quarterback play a year with the coach we're just going to fire and then fire him a new one. We've done it 3 times in a row with Fields, Caleb Williams, and Trubisky. But it's whatever. Caleb's great. The Bears will be fun this year. That'll be a fun team, and hopefully they have an actual defensive mind because Matt Eberflus was a fake defensive coach that fooled everybody into thinking he was actually good, but he wasn't. The only reason the Bears' defense looked good last year for the first half of the year was because the immense talent, but then in the second half of the year, the defense got fried. They let up 29 to the Cardinals and didn't look like a real team.
Because they weren't a real team.
Okay. But like look at the guys on defense and tell me that's not a legit defense. This is a topic for a different day, but Matt Eberflus was not an actual great defensive coach like everybody thought he was.
Yeah.
And there's still people that think he would be a great defensive coordinator, even though he was going to get fired in Indy before he even hired with the Bears.
And then really quick,
Yeah.
who
The run defense looked terrible. The pass defense is great, but that's also because we have one of the best secondaries in football. So it's like, but even then, he just runs a soft cover 2 the whole time. Like
7 and 9. Where are they looking with those picks now?
Travion Henderson
Position,
or
please.
Caleb Johnson. both
Travion
running
Henderson
backs.
in the second round is criminal.
Caleb Johnson.
Okay, that's better.
One of those two.
So they'll take a running back.
And then probably an edge.
Mike Green's still on the board.
Ooh, if he falls all the way to 7 though.
You got the Browns, Texans, Titans, Browns, Raiders, Patriots, Bears. He might
It'll
go
be
to the
interesting. But we
Patriots.
got to get to the rest of this first round. This is the first round recap, not
So
day 2.
11 Niners on the clock. They took Michael Williams. We don't have a graphic for him. Pretty good. 12 Tyler Booker, offensive guard for Alabama. Needed it. Zach Martin just retired, so a lot of people were questioning this pick. Tyler Booker, we had him all going in the late first round.
Yeah.
In our mock drafts. He goes at 12.
I don't know,
Which
Raven.
at first didn't really understand, but now kind of looking at it, makes perfect sense. They retired Zach Martin. But before we get into pick 13, we are going to head to a small break. When we come back, we'll round it out the first round of the draft. We are back here after the break, and we got a new guest. Mr. Harvell's joining us to discuss the 13th overall pick. And with that, the Dolphins selected Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan, who, ironically, went to Northwest Indiana. He attended Maryville High School, and Mr. Harvath was there at Maryville when Kenneth Grant was there. So, Mr. Harvath, take it away.
Well, first of all, let me just say this. It's a pleasure to be on with you guys, being joined by Brendan and Jonny and Devon. My first time popping in on your sports show here at PC3 Radio. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for letting me come on and talk a little bit about a great young man. When we talk about Kenneth Grant, University of Michigan, and Brendan, you know how painful it is for us to talk about University of Michigan players, judging by our loyalty to Michigan State. But we'll save that conversation for another day. But Kenneth, he was a tackling machine at Maryville. He played for Coach Brad Cease, who I know very well. He was the head coach. He replaced Zach Wells over there at Maryville High School and has had a lot of success. Obviously, we know Kenneth's background. Kenneth, for those of you that don't know, he was not only a tackling machine, but he was a kick blocker. He blocked, I believe it was 8 kicks during his time at Maryville. Took care of some field goal issues that were plaguing some Maryville players throughout the past few years. And, Kenneth was a great young man. I had a sister, Kayla, actually in my radio and TV class, and they're a great family. And then when Kenneth got drafted at the University of Michigan, I remember the day over at Maryville when Coach Harbaugh came to recruit him, and it was, it was a big deal over there. And last night was the draft party over at Catch 22 on Route 30, and the community community where I grew up in Maryville. I went to Maryville, and it was a really cool atmosphere to see one of our own being selected to the Miami Dolphins. Kenneth brought a lot of strength, and he brought a lot of mobility to that defensive line over there at the University of Michigan, and it's a good pickup for the Dolphins coming up in the NFL draft. One more pick away, he would have been an Indianapolis Colt because the Colts need some help on that D-line. That would have been a dream come true, but he's in the NFL. He's playing for the Dolphins. All the Maryville alum are really proud of him, and I think he's going to be a great addition to the Miami Dolphins roster coming forward. And it's really cool to know somebody that's actually going on to the NFL, which we hope Brendan Gagan will do as well one day. So.
I'm not Kenneth Grant though. So, but yeah, a lot of people are saying it is a good pick for the Dolphins, especially with the help that they needed. But Kenneth Grant at 13, especially with the other guys like Walter Nolan on the board. So some people are saying it is a reach. I wanted Kenneth Grant to go to the Steelers because I shook Kenneth Grant's hand one day my freshman year, and it would have been really cool to say that I shook the hand of a Pittsburgh Steeler. But
you just get to say Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But you've seen him in person. If you've talked to him and you've been around his family before, how would he react to kind of those like rumors of he's a reach? Like, will he be humble about it?
Let me say this. He is a very, very polite young man. Let me tell you a little story about Kenneth. When he was playing at the University of Michigan, my wife has a friend. She's from the Niles, Michigan area down there by South Bend, and she had a friend that was battling illness, and he was a big University of Michigan fan. And I contacted Coach Cease, who in turn contacted Kenneth, and we were able to get him an autographed jersey that he cherishes to this day. And to do that when he's playing on a defensive line for a national championship is something that I'll never forget, and something that my wife's friend will never forget. So that was a pretty cool moment. And like I said, the family is great. They had their draft party. It was cool going on social media yesterday and seeing all the pictures over at Catch 22 and seeing everybody that was involved with that. It's really cool that not only a Maryville kid, but a kid from the region, going that high in the draft, 13th overall pick, and he was the third Michigan player selected in the first round. So as much as it pains us, that's pretty impressive from a national championship caliber team to bring 3 first-round picks that early in the draft. And like we said before, he's a great kid, and I wish him nothing but the best. And he's going to be a big part of Miami, even though he didn't go to Pittsburgh or Indianapolis like we had hoped, or maybe some Bears fans had hoped. But, it's going to be great to see him in an NFL uniform next fall.
He's been a beast since high school. Just watching him play in Maryville, and it's really cool because when he got drafted, you saw like the decorations that he had, and you saw behind him even on NFL Network and all the main broadcasts, like he had his Maryville Pirate jersey hanging up, and he was around all his family. So I mean, it's really cool, especially with the community. Like, I've seen a lot of reports from last night and how it's impacted the community, and I think it's a great way. And especially for the community, I mean, we haven't really had anything this big in a while, so I think this is really good for all the Northwest Indiana community.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to really point out was the camaraderie that you mentioned, Brendan. Being around you guys now here at the Career Center after being at Maryville for 13 years and just seeing, the tweets and the mentions and the Facebook posts and the TikTok videos, everything that's coming out in support. I know there's always big rivalries. You guys are all athletes. You guys know what it's all about. But in the end, when you see a region kid, achieve his dreams and get that far and, be a top 15 pick in the NFL draft, you can't do anything but root for him, especially when he was a great kid, like you mentioned. So we wish him nothing but the best, and I think it's a really good thing for Northwest Indiana as a whole. Keep supporting each other.
Absolutely. So thank you, Mr. Harvath, for coming on and telling us a couple stories about Kenneth Grant. We'll head to another break, and when we come back, we will finish out rounding out the first round of the NFL draft. Welcome back. After discussing Kenneth Grant, pick 13 to the Dolphins, we will move on. And 14 to Indianapolis. They selected Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State. I love this guy because I'm a Penn State fan. And it's something that the Colts needed. I know a lot of Colts fans, and one of their problems, and I also don't mind the Colts either. I'll root for the Colts when they're not like playing anybody. I've been to a Colts-Steelers game the last 2 years, and their biggest need from the last 5 years has been a tight end. Ever since Jack Doyle retired, they had this run where they had top 10 tight ends. They had Eric Ebron, then they had Jack Doyle, and they've had him at this. They had him at the same time, and then Ebron left to go to Pittsburgh, and Doyle stayed, and then Doyle retired. And ever since Doyle retired, they haven't really had that solidified number one tight end guy. You know, they've been switching from Mo Alley Cox to I can't even name any other tight ends, but they don't they've never had a one. And this is a great pick. This was probably the only right pick for Indy. A lot of people.
It was going to be him or Loveland, and then
Loveland got picked. So it was kind of sketchy. And if I was a Colts fan, especially with how Jim Irsay runs that team and all the questionable decisions he's had with their quarterback situation.
Yeah,
and they don't know who's throwing the ball. If I was a Colts fan, I would be stressing that Jim Irsay messed this one up and picked Shador. I was stressing for Colts fan. I was cheering it because I was like, okay, Steelers are taking Shador. But Colts did not mess it up. They took the guy exactly what they wanted. Every Colts fan that I talked to, they said they wanted Warren or Loveland. They got Warren. Great call.
Who do you guys think's throwing them the ball?
Anthony Richardson.
It's going to be Anthony Richardson.
One more year.
Yeah, Steichen's trying to do mental warfare here by bringing in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, I'm not saying Daniel Jones isn't going to play. Daniel Jones, we will see Daniel Jones this year at some point.
Due to injury, hopefully. Well, no, sorry.
Whoa.
No.
Okay, Devon.
No. If Daniel Jones plays,
yeah,
I would rather it be because Anthony Richardson had
a minor able to play due to his physical
a
health.
minor injury, where he's only out for a game. I like watching Anthony Richardson play football, so I hope that he plays the full year and I hope he finds his footing. I'm not wishing injury. That is not what I meant. I was just saying hopefully if Daniel, I would so much rather watch Anthony Richardson play football than Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
So
as does every Colts fan.
I would prefer Anthony Richardson plays a full 17.
Yeah. And I hope he has his breakthrough year. If not, I hope they cut him, and I hope the Steelers sign him. But
That's if you don't get.
We're not getting Shador. Stop it. We're not getting Shador. But
Jalen Milroe.
15, the Falcons. They took Jalen Walker, linebacker from Georgia. Team need.
Didn't they trade up?
Yeah,
No,
later.
that was 15.
15 was their pick. Jalen Walker, team need. Haven't really had that solidified linebacker. Hoping Jalen Walker is 6'1", 243. He's a big boy. But 16, Arizona, they got Walter Nolan, D lineman from Ole Miss. This is who, biased aside, everything aside, this is who I thought the Steelers were going to take. A lot of mock drafts had Walter Nolan going to the Steelers. When this pick happened, pressure went up through the roof. I thought for sure the Steelers were drafting Shador because after this, actually after the Colts,
Nobody
needed a quarterback. So I knew that Shador was not getting picked. And especially when Walter Nolan got picked, I was like, oh no. But 17, Bengals.
They got a defensive player.
Reach and a half. Definitely a reach here. Shamar Stewart, edge from Texas A&M. He's not terrible. He's a first-round pick, but he should be 17. A late first-round pick.
Well, all of the edges are kind of
I thought Mike Green or James Pierce should have gone before Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart's good, but he's there's just something what the Bengals need, Shamar doesn't have.
I mean,
yet. They need a every down guy, a guy who's constantly getting to the quarterback, or at least putting pressure on him, or at least drawing attention for a double team to put another guy in a one-on-one. And Shamar Stewart, yes, he's going to be a rookie, so we're not going to see that right away. But with his build, he's a speed rusher. I mean, he's 6'5", 267, which is big, but he's quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm looking at his. He's very fast, and he also has like some of the best broad jump and vertical jumps in the draft.
He's very athletic, like without a doubt.
Because he was
Stud
great at
athlete.
combine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stud athlete, but at 17, especially with what the Bengals need,
They need
it's a bit
defense,
of it's a
though.
beat of a yeah.
Like, they need
do.
anyone for
They do.
defense.
But I mean, they need a corner. I thought they were taking Will Johnson for sure. 18 Seahawks, Gray Zabel, the GOAT. There it is. Guard out of North Dakota State. Happy for him. They breed guards. They really do, and facial hair and mustaches. Every lineman that comes out of North Dakota State has a killer mustache. Gray Zabel is no different. 19 Bucks. They took Emeka Ibuka, which is I really like this pick. A lot of people thought he was going to the Steelers too. I didn't really want him, especially when we traded for DK. We didn't really need him, but because we got to figure out who's throwing the ball. But we'll get into that.
Shador.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'll take Rodgers over Shador. I'll take 41-year-old grandpa Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball
Hang on, really quick.
over Shador.
Really quick. My dad watched Colorado State because he likes Sanders, Dion.
Yeah.
And then just want to see Shador. I assume you guys know this, but my dad said that Shador just didn't have anyone to protect him when he played. And he still did good.
Their O-line was bad.
So, like, he had no protection and still did good. And imagine if he had protection. He could. His number's also retired.
Oh,
Like, you don't just retire
that
a
number should not be retired.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is he had no one protecting him.
His number in that stadium is only going to tell everybody that he went in round 2.
Okay, dude.
If he goes
Okay,
in round 2. If he even goes in round 2.
I'm saying.
Now I'm scared for him.
I'm just saying.
I hope he gets drafted, but not to the Steelers.
I'm just saying. He
I
had
hope
no
he goes
one
to the
to
Steelers.
protect him and still did good.
I mean,
Yeah, okay. It's not okay. Yes,
So imagine if
I'm
he
not
had
saying
protection.
he's going to be the worst quarterback. I'm just saying with
You're
what the
really
Steelers
hating
need,
on him, and
I
you're
am
saying,
because I don't want the Steelers to take him.
But you're
He
saying you
is not
prefer
the guy
Aaron Rodgers
Yes.
over him.
Yes.
The guy, Aaron Rodgers cannot
Yes.
move.
This is not a quarterback draft, Devin. This is
doesn't
not
matter.
where you get Cam
Over
Warden.
Aaron Rodgers?
Cam Warden, that's it. That's
Hey,
the
Aaron
that's
Rodgers-
the only guy
Aaron
that
Rodgers
Aaron
can't
Rodgers.
move.
Aaron Rodgers was not terrible last year.
I would take Shador. I'd take Shador.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
I think
we're
Shador's
already
better.
in bad shape. We can't get any worse.
I think Shador's
unless
better.
we don't sign Aaron and we don't draft a quarterback and we're stuck with Mason Rudolph. I love Mason Rudolph.
I
do.
think Aaron,
But
he
Okay.
can't move.
Okay, there is Devin.
can we get to the 20th pick before we talk about the Steelers?
Tom Brady couldn't move. Well, okay, that's okay. He can move in the pocket, but so can Rodgers. Just because you aren't a running quarterback does not mean you're not good.
No, it's not even running quarterback. It's just
All right.
He's done.
Pick
Yes, they've had Ben.
pick 20.
Yeah, they wouldn't play
The
field.
Broncos took Janae Barron, corner from Texas. Made me scratch my head. If they were
They
going to
have
take
the-
a corner, why not take Will Johnson? But,
And they have the defensive player of the year at corner.
I mean, yeah, but, like, that's it.
No, they have.
Like, you need another guy.
They don't have Simmons anymore. No, they have a decent secondary. Their secondary was good
They have
last year.
Simmons. No, they
Simmons-
don't have Simmons. Say it.
Bates is in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Simmons isn't there anymore, though. Oh, Lord. Casuals alert.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is really
We're
rough.
casuals. This is not a good look.
Is
All
he
right.
still there?
But now we'll go to the Steelers. Pick 21. They pick Derek Harmon, defensive lineman, out of Oregon, 6'5", 315 pounds.
Oh.
You are not telling me that this wasn't the right pick for the Steelers. Like,
Who's
you're
throwing the
not
ball
telling-
for your team?
We will figure that out. This is not the draft to draft a quarterback.
But you
to
still
draft
need
your franchise guy.
a quarterback though. Like you can't
Okay,
play
cool.
football without one.
We'll play a year with Aaron Rodgers. We have a team. We have a defense that can win playoff games this year. We have playmakers that could get us to playoff games. We have a young offensive line, which we haven't had in a while. We finally figured out our offensive line. And we lost Najee. We have Jalen Warren. He'll be fine for a year. We had Pat Freiermuth. He's our franchise tight end. George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, all young wide receivers who are playmakers. Our defense is top 5. We are a quarterback away from going far, but we can't get the right one. And I don't want to rush a pick to try to find out to get our guy.
Yeah, Shador wouldn't help.
Shador is, yeah. Shador,
And also, Aaron Rodgers, if considering the Steelers can just kind of, I guess the franchise is perfectly okay with being 9-8 every year because they've refused to do anything about it. For them, taking Rodgers makes more sense because Rodgers wasn't even bad last year, and you guys have a good line, so he's not like.
No, the Jets were just bad.
Yeah, but he was fine.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't.
Rodgers
he
was-
wasn't
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. But
Wasn't
he
Rodgers was just destroying the entire Jets office.
No, bro. The Jets' office was destroying the Jets' office. They shoot themselves in the foot every single time.
And
They have, oh my God,
the
Jets
Steelers
have such a good roster.
The Steelers are too historic of a franchise for Rodgers to just walk in and be like, "I'm going to control the place," especially in a 1 year.
Tomlin's
deal.
not letting that fly.
I mean, Rodgers is going down though. Like he's not. He's
getting.
41 years old. Of course,
I know.
Devin,
Sanders can only go up though.
Devin.
That's
He's
not true either.
Devin.
You're saying Sanders will
Devin.
go down?
He's getting worse, but he is not bad yet. Shador Sanders is not going to be, especially in year 1, is not going to be a good year 1
Unless
quarterback.
he's Jaden Daniels. I'm kidding.
Did you just give Shador Sanders
No. I said
Jaden Daniels
unless.
comparison?
I said unless.
I will take Shador over Aaron Rodgers though.
Well, good thing you're not a
That's the
Steelers
thing.
fan. So
Not
don't
if
have to
you
worry
want it.
about
Not
do
if you
you,
want to
Devin?
win right now.
They can't win right now.
They're at least
All right. We're done. Pick 22. Chargers took Amari and Hampton. Didn't really make sense. Johnny thought it made perfect sense because it's Jim Harbaugh. He loves running the football.
It doesn't it's not like a great pick. I'm just not surprised.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
oh
mean,
wow,
they
Harbaugh took
gave
a
him
running back.
B grade.
Like Harbaugh took a running back,
I mean,
and
you
they
have
don't.
you have a power back in Najee, and now you have kind of speed with Amari and Hampton.
And they still have. Oh, do they have Dobbins?
No, they released everything. Gus Edwards is gone. J.K. Dobbins is gone.
Also, I was sorry.
I don't know the other.
Okay.
So.
I was right. Simmons was in Atlanta last year because they had him and Bates in Atlanta. Yeah, and then but they signed Hufanga, and they still have like Riley Moss at corner.
Oh my God, I forgot they signed.
Yeah,
Hufanga.
so
Oh my God.
They're
Falcons.
them.
Oh my
No.
God.
The Broncos. The Broncos have Hufanga.
Broncos.
So the
So they don't have Justin Simmons.
no, they have Simmons
have
is in
him.
Atlanta. Hufanga went to the Broncos.
Simmons was in Atlanta.
Is in Atlanta, I think,
He's in Atlanta now. No, Bates is in.
or he's a free agent. Bates is they were both
Yeah.
there.
Bates is in Atlanta.
Simmons, yeah, Bates is currently there. Simmons is probably a free agent then.
Yeah.
I don't remember. He's him. Okay, as of so Justin Simmons is a free agent, but he was not in Denver last year and is not there currently.
Yeah.
But they replaced him with Hufanga. They still have Riley Moss, so they're not like
Riley Moss was the So yeah, I mean, not a terrible pick.
just doesn't. I just
But
wanted
doesn't
to
really-
clarify.
They have bigger.
I was
needs.
right that Simmons wasn't on the Broncos.
Yeah.
I just forgot where he was at. I was gonna say Atlanta, but then I was like, no, Bates was there, so they didn't have both of them, and
Yeah.
they have both of them. So,
Pick 23. Packers. They took Matthew Golden. They got an A, which they needed. They needed a wide receiver.
I mean, Burden was still there.
Burden was still there. Burden falling
I-
out of the first round. A lot of people saw, but I think Burden's like the best wide receiver in this class.
Second,
Who's
Tedder McMillan's better,
McMillan.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot about it.
but Burden's the best of the Emeka Buka, Golden,
Matthew
and
Golden, yeah.
him group.
Yeah. So, not much to say. They needed it, and they got it. They got an A. Congratulations, Packers. You guys still suck.
Okay, well, let's kind of quickly get through the rest of this, except for the one major one that we haven't got to.
24 Vikings select Donovan Jackson, offensive guard for Ohio State. Needed. They got J.J. McCarthy coming in for his first start this year, for his first season pretty much. Got to protect him. They will. We'll come back and finish with the pick 25. 26, the Rams traded back with Atlanta. Atlanta traded up. They took James Pierce Jr., edge from Tennessee. Great move by the Falcons. Falcons cooked this. Falcons and the Giants are the two winners, I think, in this in the first round. Falcons needed defense, and they got two really good defensive guys. 27, the Ravens, Malachi Starks. Again, a need to pair him with Kyle Hamilton. Not a great sight to see from a Steelers fan, but good pick. 28, Lions, Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle from Ohio State. Needed a big nose guard to go along with Alim McNeil.
Aleem McNeil. He's really good.
Yeah,
he's so
really
good.
Yeah. So getting Tyleik Williams to pair up with him, that's good for the Lions.
Oh, also, good move by the Rams because they draft so well, getting extra picks out of and not using forcing a pick in the first round when they have drafted so well the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Really good job by them. I wanted to compliment their
Where did they
front
get?
office. I don't know the for sure trade, but
They probably got a second round.
yeah, probably got like two.
Yeah, they got a second rounder.
And they draft so well
And
that
like
it's
2 out
like
of 8 rounds. Pick 29, the Commanders. They took Josh Connerly Jr., tackle from Oregon. Need it.
gotta protect Jane Daniels.
Yep. 30, Bills took Maxwell Hairston, corner out of Kentucky.
Will Johnson was
pick.
available.
Yeah, Will Johnson was available. But Maxwell Hairston, he's pretty good. And they needed a corner. They got an A for that. 31, Eagles traded with the Chiefs. Eagles traded up. They got Jahad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama. I don't know how the Eagles keep getting away with this. I mean, this is criminal.
They just
They
keep
did
giving Vic Fangio great linebackers.
They did it with DeJean last year because he was
know.
coming off injury and was
Jahad Campbell
underrated.
should have went between picks 20 and 30. He should have went. I thought the Lions were taking him.
He's a big dude.
Yeah. 6'3", 235.
And he's ranked number 1 for
Yeah,
linebacker.
well, what do you know? And he's going to Philly.
And then the Chiefs,
Philly-
after all of the
Yeah.
I was just going to say Philly's just is looking really scary, and I don't
They
understand.
won't
Again.
go back to back though. They won't go back to back.
That's
yeah,
not
they're
what I'm
not. They
saying.
don't have the best quarterback in football. So
I'm just saying.
Neither do the Bears. Neither do the Bears. I know that.
At least
I
we
know
have a
that's where you were
quarterback.
going.
that's
At least we have a quarterback.
because Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. So don't come at me.
He doesn't even have a quarterback, so it doesn't matter.
I wasn't gonna say Caleb Williams.
He is.
Caleb Williams is the second best quarterback in the NFC North, though.
I'd rather have Mason Rudolph than Caleb Williams.
Okay, see now
I
you're
said
lying.
it.
Now you're
I
you
said it.
like Caleb Williams. You
I
just
do.
do it.
I do.
You don't
He's
have
growing on
one.
me. I like Caleb.
You don't have a quarterback.
Go watch the Vikings tape, and then tell me that you wouldn't want that quarterback on your team.
Okay, so you want me to watch?
They want any quarterback.
We need to play 17. Realistically, we want to play 21 because we want to win the Super Bowl.
And he's gonna do it in the future, like in the future. Give it time. not this year, but in the future. And then the Chiefs shore up the offensive line. They took the tackle from Ohio State,
Yeah,
Josh Simmons. So
Good pick.
shore up the offensive line because they've lost.
Because after that Super Bowl performance, my
Down.
God.
Where Montez Sweat
Oh, my God.
and that entire crew just absolutely wrecked this offensive line. So
And now we got 2 things to talk about. One is how Brendan thinks Dart
Oh, yeah.
is better than Shador.
So the
Sanders.
Giants traded with the Texans for pick 25. They traded up and they selected Jackson Dart over Shador Sanders. We knew they were going to get a quarterback when we saw him trade up. They ended up taking Dart.
What I saw.
But
the Giants traded up,
the Giants traded up, not the Browns trade up.
not the Cleveland Browns, to take Jackson Dart.
So
I tried.
we're in a bit of a feud here. Me
So
and Johnny.
Okay, so Jackson Dart just isn't going to be a good NFL quarterback, like, at all. Like, there's no world where he ends up being good. Like, he's not. Like, this is, like, the 2022 draft where teams took, like, Malik Willis. Like, he's a he's a fourth-round quarterback going in the first round. He's bad. Like, he doesn't go through reads well. He's not going to. Dude, the three things, it was, like, the analysts compared him to Josh Allen somehow, which is absurd. Like, that is the worst comparison I've ever heard. And he's just, like, all of the comps are his toughness, plays hard. Those are his, like, positives.
Okay.
He
So
competes.
you guys are trying to
He's a
tell.
baller.
You're both trying to convince me who's
I
better.
think you know
but
what that means.
Can you give me some Shador like positives instead of just hating on Dart?
He at least played well in college. I mean, they're both not. I don't like either of them that much, but Shador is a better quarterback and has been. When a guy comes out of nowhere in the last month before the draft to get drafted super high, that means their agent is doing a lot of work, and I care a lot more about what they actually did on the field than what the month before the pre-draft process, where it's not even him going to like the combine and stuff. It's just his like the pre-draft meetings. I just don't think Jackson Dart's a great quarterback. Shador at least put up numbers like you were talking about. He still played well. I don't think either of them will be great, but Shador has better odds of being a okay NFL quarterback than Jackson Dart.
My biggest thing, Jackson Dart played in the SEC. He played Bama. He played Georgia. He's had to play in these big games, and he's won a couple of them. Like, he went into Athens and beat Georgia. And you look at Colorado, they have superstars. Jackson Dart didn't have a Travis Hunter. Nobody else had a Travis Hunter, but Jackson Dart did not have a number one. Like, Jackson Dart had to throw at whoever was open. Like, he didn't have a guy where, okay, 50-50, let me.
Okay, but did Dart have time to throw the ball?
Barely. I mean, the Ole Miss's O-line was definitely better than Colorado's, but, like, you don't see any Ole Miss linemen out there in the draft right now. And the Big 12 and the SEC's, Big 12's an air raid conference. Every Big 12, every solid Big 12 team air raids because the Big 12 struggles in the defensive back.
Okay, I misspoke. Jackson Dart did put up good numbers. It's just like if his actual process of being like a quarterback is like he just doesn't go through reads well. He doesn't.
I don't think it's a first-round pick, but I would have.
He's not going to read like NFL defense as well. He's just going to get completely exposed. Shador has like, there's still some instances of him being like where he's going to go through his reads and do what you need to do to be an NFL quarterback. Jackson Dart
I just
does
feel
not
like
have
there's
it.
too much attention, and he's too big of a media guy. He's like you saw how he reacted when he kept getting sacked. I mean, he literally blamed his O-line. Like,
It kind of was. It kind of was.
Like, so that's just not a like. Shador's a solid player. I just don't want that kind of attitude and energy.
So you guys are
on the Steelers. That's not a Steeler thing. So
So-
we don't do media.
you guys both gave your arguments.
Yeah.
I am biased. But if I was unbiased and I heard these two arguments, I would go with Dart just because Johnny did not put up a good anything
I'm just
for
telling you.
Shador.
I'm just telling you. Dart's like they're both not great, but like Dart's.
Well, you said he's not
gonna
good
be a-
and then took it back
Okay,
and said he was
no, no,
actually good.
He put up numbers, but like he's not going to process an NFL level. Like he's not going to read defenses well. He's not going to go through reads. He's just like he's going to fail to do that at the next level.
But there's the thing.
Like
That's something that you could work on in practice. Like, that's something that you could practice. What you
can
can't work on
and
is arm.
How
and
many of the
all
guys?
that.
media.
How many?
Media.
How many of the guys have gone through their entire NFL career? Justin Fields got labeled as a one-read guy in college, and then guess what happened in the NFL? He's stuck being a one-read guy, held onto the ball for too long, took way too many sacks. It doesn't end up.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
hey.
I'm sorry.
Shador wasn't taken in the first round, and there was also another surprising guy that wasn't taken in the first round as well.
Johnson.
Yeah, so Will Johnson, the
The
corner.
best corner in the draft.
The best. They
Hands down.
they-
Should have been top 10.
news came
I'm
out
trying
that
to
there
find the
was
graphic.
like
Give me a
a
second.
knee injury. So unless this knee injury is like horrific.
If it's as big as what people are making it seem, sure.
But
But how are you passing on Will Johnson, dude?
like the Bills, like the later guy, like
He's from Michigan, by the way. Didn't
Yeah.
put that on there.
and I get like I had the Saints taking him, and I get not taking him that high, but like in the 20s, take a chance on the best corner in the draft talent wise, like legitimately just an elite corner.
You saw Mike Sandstrom this past year too on the Commanders. These Michigan corners are built different.
He's insane, and unbelievable that he fell.
So like, why didn't
The team's gonna get hand gifted.
Yeah,
him
the
in second
Bills took a corner at 30 when they could have had
round.
him.
Maybe the Bears take him.
They
Bears
do
don't
have.
need him.
Let Tyreek Stevenson walk.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Will Johnson, Jalen Johnson, and Kyler Gordon with Kevin Byard?
Aaron Rodgers. You know why? Because he owns your franchise.
Does the Texans need a?
A retirement home. this year.
If he joins the Steelers, guess where the Steelers got to go? It's a Soldier Field.
So where is
Aaron
he gonna?
Rodgers' house, if you're unaware.
Can you stop talking about Aaron Rodgers? Where is he going to go? It is the Browns have the 1 and 4 in the
Not
second
going
round.
to the Browns.
They don't need a corner.
They don't need a corner.
That's
The-
also why I kind of get why they didn't take Hunter, because like they have, but it's the Travis Hunter, but it's like they don't need a corner.
The
I was thinking about that. They have
Strouds.
the
Or not the Strouds, the Texans.
The Shrouds.
Shut up.
okay. He's not a
Shrouds.
one-man team. They
Texans
have-
don't need him either.
No, they have Lassiter and
Stingley.
Titans have the third. in the second round.
Prop. Titans could really nail this draft if they
If they got Will Johnson, dude,
That's the
read me out. And then who's like 5?
5 is the Raiders,
They could use a corner.
they could use a corner.
but Titans have it before them.
No,
so,
yeah, but we're just saying like the
Yeah.
option, like say if the Titans. don't go.
then it's
he's not getting to the Bears, is what I'm saying. Like a
Patriots are
yeah.
6.
No, I'm saying like he won't.
Patriots Patriots won't take him.
And then Bears are 7 and 9, and Saints are 8.
Saints get him in the second round. Never wrong, just
And
early.
then the Jets are 10.
Well, the Bears pick before the Saints, so
Bears aren't picking him. I would love it because that'd be sick, but we need bigger need. We have a lot bigger needs.
it's a corner.
It's a corner. It would just be a fun idea because of how much Tyreek Stevenson struggled last year post the Hail Mary incident.
Can you guys see yourselves
And
drafting a
edge.
quarterback in like round 6? Like just draft that quarterback for backup
We have
because Tyson Bagent is.
he's so bad, dude. There was a time where Bears fans thought he would we should be starting him over Fields. Like that was a legit. I boycotted watching Tyson Bagent starts last year. Like when he started against the Saints and the Chargers I didn't watch
Last
games.
year?
Yes, 2 years ago. When he started over Fields, it was also because Fields was like kind of dealing with an injury, but I also think they just wanted to see what Bagent could do because he beat the Panthers. Wow.
Hey,
Is that all? Do we have anything else?
We
to
covered.
talk about?
Those are the major
That-
drop-offs. Everybody else.
that was
Mike
the
Green falling was kind of
major-
surprising. Hopefully the Bears get him. The winners so far and losers. I mean, the Falcons, big winners.
Big winners, Giants. Big winners.
Well, here, how about we do?
What?
Hang on. How about we do?
Did you not hear me the first time?
The Giants.
Yeah.
Here.
They have the best defensive front in football
Hey.
because they just drafted Carter.
Hey,
and they got a quarterback.
Jackson Dart.
calm. Hey,
He's a third-round
Hey.
quarterback.
hey, let's go ahead. You give your winner and loser. You give your winner and loser.
Well,
and
there's
I'll
kind
give
of
my
there's
winner
kind of
and loser.
multiple. It's hard to say there's a certain.
And then
Like, I
you
think-
guys can talk a little, but don't just go on a 10-minute rant.
I'm just saying
'Cause we already talked
the
about
Giants
the
aren't
shooting.
winners.
Okay, he's delusional.
Trading up
Just
for
let him
trading up for a third-round quarterback
what
is
he
not
wants.
winning.
All right.
So, Brendan, winner
Right on.
and loser.
I have two winners.
Okay.
I have the Giants and I have the Colts. Freak out. Please crash out right now. Please. Please. The New York Giants won the first round of the NFL draft. Thank you. Because they
traded up
drafted Abdul Carter.
Dart.
And I cannot wait. Oh my God, I cannot wait in 7 years when Jackson Dart is on the podium holding a Super Bowl trophy and Johnny Clumpy's sitting in his college dorm.
Yeah, maybe as the
saying, "Oh my
backup.
God, I
Maybe
call
as the
this guy
backup.
awful."
Years?
The backup quarterback, maybe.
What do you think I'm gonna
held back
Yeah.
in college? What is that?
I don't know how many years of college you're doing. Anyway,
Dart, maybe it's the backup quarterback.
Colts and the Giants are my winners. Loser, I only have one, and that is the Bengals
he
because
was gonna
they
say
needed
Bears.
more needs, and I don't think Shamar Stewart is that guy that they needed. Yes, it's defense, but like, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. Winners: Colts, Giants. Loser: Bengals. Johnny,
'Kay.
go.
The winners probably the Falcons. They got edge. They really
Oh my God,
needed.
I forgot about 3 winners. Falcons.
No, just
Sorry.
Keep it at 2
Sorry.
and
All right.
put the Falcons at 2 and
All
move
right,
the
Giants and Falcons.
no.
Loser?
So yeah, the Falcons are winners. They needed that defensive help. I mean, nobody really made like any heinously bad picks. I'd say the Broncos probably taking a corner. Broncos or Bengals not taking like their actual like the guys that are gonna fit their needs.
Yeah.
Are probably my two. I think don't. And the Broncos, if you're gonna take a corner, why would you not take Will Johnson, especially that high? Don't really get it.
My winner, I want to go Jaguars, trading up and getting Travis Hunter. I think that's a good move for
I didn't
them.
think the Browns.
I call it neutral.
I think Hunter can be
Yeah, but they gave up
a partial two-way guy, and I think Hunter will be really good for them. And they have a quarterback as well, compared to the other teams that are in the top 4.
Okay, well that's true.
Who's your loser?
My loser is going to be one of your winners. I want to say the Giants. I don't like that they traded up for Jackson Dart.
Okay, they still got Abdul Carter.
I don't care. They traded up to get Jackson Dart, who
Jackson
no one
Dart.
else in the rest of this
Dart, if
area
Jackson Dart, if you ever stumble across this clip, listen to these hooligans talk
It's
bad
not-
on you.
Can I?
Just
You gotta
listen
say
to
your
them.
piece. Can I say mine?
Sure.
Jackson Dart was not going to get picked in the first round, so I don't understand why they traded up in the first place. So if you're going to trade up for a second round. There was no need to take him first round.
Nobody.
And even if you're trading up, why are you taking Dart over Shador?
Because he's better than Shador. Anyway, we got to get to wrapping up. Bit of final thoughts here. Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers. Next year, we get a mid-draft pick. We draft Drew Aller. And there's our next Big Ben. That's my prediction. But, yeah. Second round, third round is tonight. The second and third is tonight. It starts at 6. Shador. Gotta be getting picked tonight.
Browns.
There's no way he doesn't. I think he's
Steelers.
going to the Browns.
They have 2.
Yeah.
They have the
Steelers.
2 second-round picks.
He's
I think
not
one of them.
going to
I think
the
one of
Steelers.
them is
Steelers
used
do not
on.
have a second-round pick, believe it or not.
They
dude.
trade for one.
We're not trading up to get Shador. If we do, I am. You're
The
never
Giants.
hearing from me
The
again.
Giants trade up into the first round to draft Jackson Dart.
Who's better than Shador? I
Not
would have been so happy if we traded up for Dart. But
traded up.
we're not getting into this again. This has been a thing all episode. This was a special episode of the Blitz. Yeah, we'll recap next week about the draft because the draft will be finished. I am your host, Brendan Gagan.
I'm Johnny Clumpy.
Devon Osman.
We will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.